everybody. Welcome today to the initial anniversary installment episode of a brand new pod. It's called Jake and Unc the Lake Show. It's starring me, the Unc, and my nephew, Jake. We both share the same last name, that's Kalmanson, and we're here to break down all things Lakers, coming off what was a pretty impressive victory last night in Minneapolis. It looks like the Lakers, I don't want to say have a new star, but it seems like Kobe has found a new body to inhabit, in the name of Austin Reeves. You saw the game last night. Just your first impressions.
Yeah, I mean, he's just unbelievable. I feel like he just keeps getting better. You know, he's taking full command. We got players out. We got our star guys out, and he's making no excuses. Just, yeah, like you said, kind of playing like Kobe. I mean, a little bit of Luka, a little bit of, he's got his own unique playing style, but just so impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he's the first Laker to start a season with 5 straight 25-point games since Kobe Bryant in 2005. So it's not just an idle comparison. It's a valid statistical comparison.
His shot making, like his jumper has just gotten so much more consistent. I mean, he's just draining threes. Last night wasn't even his best shooting performance, but he found a way and he got everyone involved. It was his career high in assists, 16 assists, and yeah, he's just commit. And his handles, like he used to have a lot of turnovers, but I feel like he's pretty in command and he's not turning it over, and he's in complete control.
He seems like the more responsibility you give him, the better he gets. You know, he doesn't shrink from his promotions. He kind of grows into them and exceeds them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like he's grown every year of his career. Like this year, you've already kind of seen he stepped it up to another level. It's crazy.
It's impressive. Now, of course, he's got some new people to play with. Another guy in the last week or so. We probably wouldn't have seen much of him had LeBron and Luka been around. But Jake LaRavia, is somebody that's really. I mean, who is this guy? Jake LaRavia out of Wake Forest, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I had decent hopes for him coming into the season from Sacramento last year. I mean, anytime we can get like a good defensive player, good body, 3-and-D guy who can drain threes, I think we kind of needed that. We've lacked that for like the last 5 years. Like we lost Dorian Finney-Smith, so
Right.
He was good, a good player to come in and fill that role.
You know, one of the silver linings of the injuries to Luka and LeBron is it allows some of these players that might not get the confidence they need right away. You know, sometimes they don't get some serious minutes until, January or February. And, who knows where their confidence level is after that, because they've just been getting, minor minutes. And this is a guy who got major minutes and is scoring big time points.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I mean, he was probably just going to be like a 10 to 15 point player normally, like at best, kind of do play good defense, make threes, but like yesterday just gave him he's getting a good opportunity to kind of showcase all of his abilities.
And same with Dalton Connect. He has been a little bit. I guess he didn't have a good summer season, and has been a little bit behind the 8 ball, but he's starting to find his legs and his confidence as well.
Yeah, Dalton looks good. I mean, he definitely, I feel like towards the end of last year, he was not performing at his best, and then summer league, he wasn't great. I mean, he couldn't make shots.
Mm-hmm.
And preseason, he was still in the slump. I don't know. I always still kind of felt confident with him though, because he's so gifted. Like when he gets the ball, you could just tell he's like overthinking, or he's rushing it. But I feel like the last 2 games, he's really kind of found a flow. He's not just settling for jumpers, trying to see one go in. He's going to the basket, making a pump fake, putting up a layup. He's good around the basket. He should be aggressive and not just try to get hot from three because we've seen what he can do there. But um, and defensively, he had a couple of really good blocks last night. He's a good player.
He's an elite athlete. I mean, he belongs out there. The question I have is when Luka gets back, and LeBron, assuming he does, what happens to people like Austin and their confidence and their rhythm, and you're not touching the ball as much. Things are getting spread. Is there a fall off? It's very, I think, hard for players that aren't the absolute alphas to play and maintain their level when the superstars are back in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is like what Austin dreams of, like he wants to be the guy. He wants to be Kobe. Grew up loving Kobe. So for him to be able to just get the ball in his hands and put up 30, put up 40, 50. Um, I think when Luca comes back and LeBron comes back, like they're gonna know what Austin is capable of now. And it's just gonna give us more options. Like when LeBron's on the sideline, when Luca's on the sideline. Like I could see LeBron and Austin playing together and Austin kind of dominating the ball and just gives LeBron that much more like or gives him more breathing room and doesn't put as much pressure on LeBron if you got a guy like Austin who can we got three guys who can put up 50 points.
So we're a week in. The season gets going fast. They're already 5 games in. They've got a winning record, 3-2. You don't feel like they're playing. I think it's important to kind of win some games up front, so you're not trying to get out of a hole. You're not digging out of a hole for the balance of the year and then next year. As you look at the Laker team, I mean, yes, they won last night and they beat a team that beat them, actually eliminated them last summer or spring in the playoffs. What's your feeling? I mean, given where the Lakers are and the competition that's out there?
I mean, I feel good. I feel like, last year in the playoffs, we kind of needed a big body. Not that Jackson Hayes wasn't, a good player, but we kind of needed someone just a little bit of a step up. And Aiton seemed like a pretty promising signing. I mean, he was a number one overall pick
Mm-hmm.
over many years back. He's obviously really talented. Um, so him joining, I feel like that's kind of unlocked some of this Austin scoring because it's either they're doing the pick and pop and he's so good from mid range or he can score at the basket or he can dump it off to Aiton who's been really good at those jumpers. Um, so
Right. And I think it was Aiton that through put that screen up that allowed Austin to kind of loop in and score the winning basket there.
yeah, Aiton's been a good signing. I mean, granted we're only in through 5 games, but he's looking pretty good. I think Marcus Smart, even though he hasn't been in the last 2 games, he looked like a good player out there for us. I mean,
And what's his status? Did he sprain an ankle or what happened to him?
I might have to cut the Smart out, but I'm actually unsure of
I don't
what
think they've been sure either. I don't think it's been explicit, in the games. So, what the reports are coming. And frankly, I've had back issues, a couple back surgeries myself, and LeBron is struggling with sciatica, which can be very brutal, very painful. I don't know what your people are telling you. Are they just sort of kind of putting LeBron on ice, resting him, knowing that maybe they're going to want a fresher version of LeBron at the end of the year? Or do you think maybe we might not see him until next year, meaning, January, February?
I saw that there was a report today that his timeline looks like it's the second or third week of November. So I think we're not too far away from LeBron coming in.
Yeah.
In Luca, I saw that he was, I think he could come back in the next like 2 to 3 games.
So we're going to see sort of whatever the version of the 25 26 Lakers we'll see sometime in November, meaning around before Thanksgiving. We'll get a sense of who and what they are. One thing you never get is a sense of a team in the preseason. There's very little you can take from the preseason in basketball, and same with football, for that matter. Um, so I think we're kind of just getting a preview now. I mean, after that first game, I was thinking, oh my God, this could be a long season.
Yeah, yeah, that first game was a little rough, but I mean that kind of felt more like a preseason game because we weren't too good in the preseason, but something happened, you know, game two, Luca. Um, I think the first game against the Warriors is a tough team to start off the season with. They have such good chemistry already. They not much has changed with them. We had a couple new players and
Right, right. They have great star power that's experienced. Now, when you look at the West in general, just it's not just how good the Lakers are. It has a lot to do with how good Oklahoma City and Houston and the Warriors and Minnesota, who beat them in the playoffs. After all, I don't think their superstar, the Ant-Man, was on the court last night. What's your feeling about just the Western Conference?
yeah, I mean the West is always tough. It's stacked. There's no doubt about it. And you
Mm-hmm.
got OKC, who is just you know, they're so many weapons, and they're just starting to like become a great team. So as far as getting through them, I'm not going to say we're the favorites, but and the Spurs look
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yes.
They're 4-0, so uh, but I like our chances. I mean, I think if we, Luca, LeBron, we have our defense kind of tightening up a little bit with Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton, even Jake LaRavia is a good defender.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's going to be tough. I think we'll finish top three or top four.
Now, to what extent do you think JJ Redick needs to improve, or where do you think his growth needs to be, or maybe you've seen some already?
It's a good question. I think he's been really good as a motivator. We got Bronny playing minutes these last two games, and our team is just super locked in. And I feel like a past version of the Lakers would kind of get down on themselves, or with LeBron and Luca out, and might not put up such a fight like they did last night. But so I think JJ is pretty damn good motivator, and schematically, I think sometimes like late in games, like I don't know if it was just because we got tense, but we had a 20-point lead yesterday. We had a 10-point lead with like a minute and a half to go or 2 minutes last night. So I don't know if that's so much of a JJ issue, but um, I could have seen us putting in like Vanderbilt last night when we just couldn't get a stop. They just kept scoring. So, but I think JJ he's in his second year, so there's going to be a lot of things for him to improve upon, and he's going to learn a lot. Just continue.
When you look at the summer, you see some strength, and it looks like Austin's better. It's hard to know about some of the other players. Maybe Dalton Connect too. I think Jackson Hayes got an unfair rap in the playoffs. I think Redick sort of choked with him. I think he should have let him in. I think during the end of the season, he was like doing really great with those alley oops, and he runs the court really well. And I thought there was just like, oh, we don't have a center, therefore we can't compete. I didn't think that was totally true or totally fair.
Yeah, I mean, he just makes a lot of mental mistakes, and he's still young, and that's fair. But I agree with you. I think they should have at least given him a chance. Like, go out with your center that you have, and don't, if you're going to lose the series at least like putting up a fight with a full roster. Like we didn't even have a big man last year, and we were up against Rudy Gobert, and these, they have a lot of players. So
yeah, and they just eat you alive when you don't have sufficient, any real resistance. As you look at the team, and we'll kind of wrap this up. You hear a lot. Oh, it's the Lake. First, as a side, I'm wearing the Dodger hat because we're approaching. Either way, will be the end of the baseball season, and hopefully they'll prevail in these last two games in Toronto. But the Lakers the purchase was finalized, I think, today between the Guggenheim Group and the Buss family, and I guess they'll assume control over in some transition period over the next few years. But the Lakers' pockets will be way deeper. Do you think that'll make a different, in other words, a big difference going forward? After all, I think next year, if Austin Reeves is Kobe reincarnated, they're going to have to make some big choices about what they're going to pay him.
Yeah, that's true. I think the most they can pay him is like 40 million next year, um, which is still pretty high, obviously. But yeah, I think it's going to help. I mean, you've seen what they were able to do with the Dodgers. Like, obviously, the cap situation is different in the MLB, but
Right.
I think like the Buss family, they weren't. They have been a little bit on the stingier side. Like we have just like for being the Lakers, like the biggest arguably sports franchise in the world. You know, we weren't spending tons of money or going over the cap hit, and we weren't able to, you know, since it was a family owned business. Like they could only absorb so much, you know,
Right.
paying.
Right. They got to earn what they pay, basically. It's not like there's another industry or business funding uh, the Lakers. So you're right. And finally, just this is the first, hopefully, of a number of shows as we skip a stone across this season. What for you, as a premier Lakerologist, one of the deepest thinkers about all things Lake Show, what represents a successful season for you, or not? You know, I'm a little over this championship or bust mentality because I don't think it's fair and it's not always real. So for you, where are the expectations? How could they exceed them, or where would they fall short in your view?
I think I think getting to the Western Conference Finals and putting up a good fight against OKC or whoever it may be would be a successful season. I mean, I do I feel like just as a Laker fan, championship or bust is kind of in the DNA. Especially when you got Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and you know a good team formed around them. But you can't ignore just the reality of the West, and you know you got OKC. They have like three star players. They have incredibly incredible chemistry, and um, you know I like that we beat the Timberwolves twice because if you remember against Denver, I think we lost playoff series to them, and
Right.
then we couldn't beat them for like a year and a half.
Right.
We lost 12 in a row.
Right.
You know, we lost again in the playoffs to them. So it was like it's kind of in our heads. Like we just couldn't beat Denver, and so now at least even though we lost in five, you know, we got some confidence back against the Wolves, and we're not going to be like scared of them like we were scared of Denver. So I think that's important. Yeah, I think I'd like to at least not go out in the first round. I'd like to go. I think we're capable of, you know, assuming DeAndre Ayton and some of these role players look as good or continue to play as good as they have been in the first couple games. I mean, I feel like the sky's the limit with this team.
And of course, a lot depends on what version of LeBron we're going to get. You know, a wounded, limping, or something close to what he did last year. I think that's a little up for grabs. You know, I don't. Did he even play in the preseason? I don't even recall if he played at all.
No, he didn't play in the preseason. I mean, you know me, I'm a big golfer, so and people, you know, LeBron's taken up golf this summer, and I think
Oh, he tweaked that lower back, all that torsion.
and
Yeah. And by the way, to our listeners, check out Jake's Instagram page. It's Ivory Links, and Jake is a fashion designer. He's trying to recapture some of the classic golf look of the 60s with modern material, and it's really cool. And look out for the clothes as they come down the line. Anything you want to share about Ivory Links? Maybe we can get Austin as a as a sponsor or something, or as a not a sponsor. What do you call it? Like a spokesperson.
Yeah, that'd be a dream. That'd be. No, I'm just I'm working on it. It's been a fun ride, but I'm getting close to a launch. Um, but yeah, I feel like just back to the Lakers. I feel like there's this kind of like trickle down effect from LeBron and then Luca. Like Luca's seeing what LeBron does to with his body and his intensity about how
Right.
serious he is and committed. And Luca had a lot of changes this summer as far as his diet and his regimen. And you can see he's quicker, and of course he's injured. But and then I feel like that even goes down to Austin, where like you have Austin kind of seeing Luca and his greatness and his skills and his offensive just genius. That he is. And I feel like Austin's gotten a little rub off from Luca, where Austin's kind of like, you know what, I can score at this elite level. And I don't know. I kind of feel like everyone's kind of rising up because of Luca and LeBron.
So 1 + 1 + 1 could equal more than 3 because they're like a multiplier as opposed to an additional effect if you want to use math, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the way to say it.
Well, that would be the most optimistic view of the season that's about to unfold in front of us. So everybody, look out for these shows. It's the Jake and Unc Lake Show. It'll be available on the YouTube channels and at some point beyond that on wherever you get your podcasts. But till next time, the next game is Friday. Where are they home? Who do they have Friday?
Yeah, Friday is the Grizzlies, I believe. Yeah, Grizzlies in Memphis.
In Memphis.
First NBA Cup game.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. They won it the first time, and it didn't bode well for their season. But I think it's a way to kind of tweak some interest over a long season that seemingly never ends in basketball. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, folks, check us out, and hope you enjoyed our little commentary. We'll be joining and kind of touching base as the season progresses. Until next time, we'll see you later.